All right, so do you guys like my question marks this month? Because I can take as much time as I want, really. It's not going to push me off of here. So I kind of changed it up a little bit this month. I came across this article. It was a study that Facebook had ran on the marketing during the holiday season last year. So I thought, rather than telling you all the changes that happened, because I know it's going to be overwhelming, how about I give you guys some information on how you can make some changes in your marketing immediately within the next month and what to focus on if you're doing social media marketing. Like I know, Rick, that you could do a lot on social media. So that's what we're going to do today. So, Facebook's Festive Conversations is what the article is called. Everything, all the images and all the words and everything can actually be taken from insights.fb.com, and then here's a long URL that I'm happy to give you.
She's legally obligated to
to let you know that everything comes from there. So we're covered all our bases. All right, Facebook's Festive Conversations. 65% of all season greetings takes place on Christmas and New Year's. So if you think about it, we have 7 major holidays throughout the year. 65% of those greetings happen on Christmas and New Year's. And this is what happened in 2015 during the holidays. Facebook surveyed 4 English-speaking markets, Australia, California, Canada. Australia, we should pretty much really be our own country. Australia, Canada, the UK, and the US in August of 2015. 33% said that they plan to shop in December or later. So think about that. When did you plan to do your Christmas shopping? December
23rd.
You're not alone. You're not alone. I mean, I typically do, well, the last 2 years I've done all my Christmas shopping during Amazon Prime Day. Everyone gets covered on Amazon Prime Day.
What does it mean, December or later? What is the later?
Or later. That's what we're going to talk about. Okay. Later. Okay. Because if you think about the 65% of all holiday greetings happen between Christmas and New Year's, and here we're looking at December or later. Or later. Yeah, so I typically get a lot of my Christmas shopping done in July or whenever Amazon Prime Day is. And then I pick up my last minute stragglers. This year everyone's getting books. But there's a study that says that maybe when you plan on doing things, it doesn't always happen when you plan. So when surveyed during the holiday season, 54% said they did or would do most of their shopping in December or later. So in August, they said, 34%, now all of a sudden at 54% said, well, yeah, we're planning on doing that. Facebook conversations related to Christmas shopping heated up as early as November. So that makes sense. If you think about it, holiday season. I know we see a lot of Christmas stuff during, October time it starts to come out, right? So typically a season ahead. But we actually start hearing conversations on social media as early as November. And who thought millennials were going away from social media? Because millennials made up 79% of the holiday-related conversations on November 11th, 2015. So everybody who thought the millennials were going away,
nope,
they're still on Facebook.
What are they buying?
I'm sorry?
What are they buying?
We're going to talk about that. Women,
I know.
Women, we generate 64% of all the holiday-related conversations on Facebook. So that makes sense. Majority of people on Facebook really are women, the ones that spend the most time, at least in the United States. So that certainly makes sense. It falls in line with what they were saying. December is when last-minute shopping begins. So some people think December 1st is when last-minute shopping begins. Others is December 23rd. December 23rd is still plenty of time. It's usually 25th.
24th.
24th. The 26th is totally last-minute for those people you didn't see on the 25th. So December is when last-minute shopping begins. And the survey found that 62% reported doing most of their holiday shopping in December. So again, here we had 33%, then went to 54%, but what actually happened was 62% of the people did their shopping in December. So we all plan to do it in the summertime, and it never happens, and yet more than half of the population is still doing all their shopping in December.
Well, and more importantly, on Black Friday, right? So.
And I didn't include Black Friday because it was already in the past, but Black Friday, so this particular study does discuss November. And Black Friday was really interesting because they talk about how Black Friday, we think of it as a very US thing. It's actually a global market. So the amount of shopping that happens on Black Friday does exceed Cyber Monday and any other day. So Black Friday is absolutely the largest shopping day. So they were saying that if you're ramping up, like if you heard this report in September, then you wanted to make sure that you had all of your marketing ramped up for Black Friday. And not to limit, if you can, don't limit your market to local, but really go global. Because people in other countries are spending a lot more money than we are, believe it or not. So yeah, so that's the Black Friday information. So yeah, so 60% doing it in December. So where they found their inspiration, mobile buyers. So how many of you have your websites mobile friendly? Yeah, if you don't, you need to, for a couple different reasons.
Your new one is.
Yes, your new one is. You need to for a couple different reasons. I mean, Christine can tell you that Google will penalize you starting January 15th, I believe is the day. January 15th, January 13th. If your site is not mobile, then you get dinged.
They've already started it.
You get pushed back. You don't get
rewarded.
They're penalizing you starting January 1st with pop-ups.
Pop-ups, yes, that's what it is. Yeah, pop-ups. So you have on your website, if you go to a website and something pops up automatically,
That's why we can't have the pop-up video on that site.
can't have it go out.
Like
Yeah, you
join
can't
my
have an action.
join my newsletter
Right.
or
Or
sign
a
up for
pop-up
newsletter.
video or anything like that.
So how do you get around that?
Keep going.
Do an exit.
Hey, do an exit pop-up.
Do an
right?
exit pop-up.
Right?
Yep.
And then
Now
goes off.
you're totally fine. Yeah, so where they found their inspiration. So mobile buyers are 1.81 times more likely to say they use Facebook to research gift ideas. So they're being inspired on Facebook. And 1.85 times more likely to use Instagram for inspiration. So again, think about what you're doing and are you on Instagram? And should you be on Instagram? If you have a tangible product or a service that could be giftable, you may want to consider Instagram because that's where mobile buyers are looking for inspiration.
Can I ask you a question? What's the age group for Instagram versus Facebook?
It varies because we were just talking about, so Craig and I were just talking about generations, and I don't know if you guys know there's a whole other generation out there. Who knew? We thought it stopped with the millennials, it so doesn't. Apparently there's Generation Z. Yeah, I know.
How
I
old
know.
are they?
They're under the age of 19. Generation Z are the kids that did not
Stay away
grow
from
up.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the kids that did not grow up in a time of a great economy. They grew up with their parents going through a bad economy, post 9/11, losing jobs, trying to reinvent themselves. So life is not perfect for them. Yes.
They're little zombies.
Yeah. Ooh, oh, here we go. For my colleague, Christine, across the millions of websites using Google, more than 50% of all web traffic is now coming from smartphones and tablets.
Yeah.
So make sure, but to go back with the ages on the different ranges, Snapchat is still going to be probably Generation Z. I'm going to go with Generation
It's a young.
is Snapchat. The younger millennials, because millennials now are up to 30, 32 years old. So the younger, still in their 20s, are still on Snapchat.
Instagram as well.
Instagram is starting to come up because Instagram has stories, and now they've just introduced disappearing images, which is very
Snapchat.
Snapchat-y. Yes, so starting to get a little bit younger.
Yeah, when you say where they found inspiration, who are you talking about in general?
Mobile users. You, and 64% of the buyers that did their shopping in December of last year found the mobile users of those buyers, they found their inspiration on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, okay.
So what am I going to get you for Christmas? Let me look and see.
Oh, and you get your ideas from
This is where I'm getting my ideas for my gift shopping. Yes. So the age ranges right now, they're kind of combobulated. And clearly at Christmas time, people tend to go back to Facebook. So regardless of age. So then let's look at the millennials because we have the big M word, the millennials. 1.53 times more likely to use Facebook for inspiration. If you think about it, who are they buying for? They're typically buying for their family and friends and parents. Who's on there? Family, friends, and parents. And so how do I know what my mom wants for Christmas? I just kind of stalk her on Facebook.
How does that work? I don't understand how they could search Facebook to get ideas for what to get their friends.
Well, let's say, okay, so you and I are friends on Facebook and I want to purchase a Christmas gift for you,
All right.
right? I can go on your Facebook and see what you've been talking about.
What do you like?
What have you liked? What have you not liked? What have you reshared and said, this is cool, gotta have it, take my money.
Okay.
In the graph search, you can also say, what do people who live in Pasadena, or what do you can find out a lot through the graph search. So it'll say, people who like this, what do they also like?
Yeah.
And it'll bring up a bunch of stuff. It's like, think of Amazon when you buy a book and it says that people who bought this
Yes.
book also like this book. People who like, if you go to the graph search and you say, what do people who like this also like? It'll bring up commonalities.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
so
very
you can-
powerful.
There's a lot of data going back and forth on Facebook, but Facebook also has agreements with other data banks that have a lot of data made available to them as well. So yeah, so millennials, again, they're still on Instagram because 3.18% of 3.18 times more likely to use Instagram for inspiration as well. So very visual, still a very visual platform for them. More than 50% of people surveyed say they buy gifts for themselves.
Well, yeah.
Black
more.
Friday.
One for you, two for me.
Okay, so that's exactly the image that Facebook used.
I bought this TV and I bought one for you.
And interestingly enough, do you want to know who bought themselves gifts? It's popular with high income and mobile shoppers. High income individuals tend to buy gifts
Can you
for
just
themselves.
repeat the headline there right there? Popular with
Popular with high income and mobile shoppers.
premium market.
Yes.
Premium market. Premium market. Can keep that in your mind. I've said that several times to you over the last month on emails. It's like you want to sell premium products to a premium market.
Yes.
And it's because they can afford it. And guess what? They tend to be our age. Okay? There's nobody in here who's a teenager or 20, except for Christine. Christine is 19. But the point is, you want the market to sell to is the affluent, and there's 6 different degrees of affluence. And you have to, so the people that are actually going to buy have a degree of high income, and it starts with 100,000 above, and that sort of thing. So, and
And you
I'll
can find
talk
them
more
through
about that
Facebook
as we
ads
get to it.
well. You can target these people.
Yeah.
So 1.36 times more likely to purchase gifts for yourselves, and mobile, 63% said that they'll go ahead and participate in self-gifting. If you think about it, it makes sense, because mobile people tend to be a little bit more spontaneous. I want that, I need that. Very easy, very convenient to purchase.
Yeah.
1 in 4 people who do their holiday shopping in December make their purchases between December 11th and the 20th.
That's
Just in
right.
time for delivery.
72% of the people surveyed considered shipping times. So yes, they knew that they were purchasing online, so I need to have it in time for shipping. So what they also talked about was those people that purchased online and gave enough shipping time also understand, if they're seasoned buyers, also understand that if something goes wrong with shipping, they have to repurchase and buy something
Prime.
else. So where do they go? They go to their mobile app again and repurchase. So
Yep.
they're not leaving their mobile app, they're not running to the store, they're still going to their app to purchase.
Right.
Mobile shoppers consider themselves spontaneous shoppers. So we want it now. Instant gratification. New Year conversations tend to begin on Christmas Eve. So that's when you start to see the hashtags of hashtag New Year, hashtag fresh start, hashtag resolutions, hashtag Christmas. But typically you don't tend to see that before that, because everyone has now indulged in Thanksgiving, they've indulged in Christmas feast, and now they're doing fresh start. So that's when we start hearing that. So when you're doing your marketing, think about these hashtags around that time frame. On Christmas Day, sharing replaces shopping. So if you're doing ads, probably don't want to run them on Christmas Day, because people aren't shopping on Christmas Day. They're sharing, they're talking about everything they got, their families, and gratitude and things like that, reaching out. Christmas Day is the most active day of the season with 800 million holiday-related posts.
What is that visual that you have on the right?
One little tiny post equals 10 million, so there's 80 little posts there. So yeah, so that's the visual.
I couldn't even see it.
800 million is what it is. So it's a very high traffic day on Facebook. Go in, say hi, say thank you, walk away. And 86% of those are on mobile.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're visiting family really quick.
I
Merry
can't
Christmas.
help think, if Christmas Day is the most active day for shares, if you have something really good that's shareable in your ad, it's worth putting the ad out.
Well, it's worth reposting, certainly on your social media.
But I would use that ad, I wouldn't do it with the call to action to purchase.
Right.
If you're doing an ad for
Yeah,
that,
but
I would
for
do a
branding and
value back
getting
branding.
likes.
Right.
But in all honesty, you can probably run that post and get a lot further with organic reach.
And if you boost the post to
That's-
your current
that's-
list, you
yeah.
get a lot
That's
more reach out
what I
of
was
it.
referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't run an ad with a
People
call to
share.
action to purchase or learn more. I would run a Merry Christmas,
Yep.
are you ready for the new year? We're here for you, whatever type of ad.
Yep.
That just purely value on there. So, okay, so why is all of this important? Right? We're gonna get rid of our sticky.
Santa Claus hat. I'm Jewish.
There you go.
I'm actually Irish. I'm
I
sorry.
can't please everybody.
Anyway, I'm Irish.
So why is this important? It's important because when you're crafting your holiday marketing, especially in this month, you gotta remember there's a lot of traffic online. So one of the examples I give is, when was the last time you drove 405 freeway? And when you think about driving the 405 freeway,
I don't.
you don't, or the 91 or whatever, right? You don't think about those things. So 20 years ago, you thought about it, maybe get a little bit more credibility. Today, you walk away. There's a lot of traffic on those highways, right? Facebook is no different. There's a lot of traffic on this Facebook highway. So think about making your holiday messages mobile. Anything you post this month should be mobile ready. Self-gifting is an important part of shopping, so don't be afraid to tell people to buy one for themselves, because they just might. Ramp up spend to influence decisions as key holiday moments are happening. So think about what are the influential moments. So if sharing on Christmas Day is something, then I'm gonna ramp up my spending maybe to get the message out for a value add, not a purchase. Master the M buyers, and M buyer is a mobile buyer, so master their journey. Really cater to the mobile person. And reach out to procrastinators.
Before you
Because
go,
they go from the December 11th to the 20th. So reach out to those people.
do you have one more, or?
I don't think so.
What about custom audiences?
Well, customizing is a whole other
I know it's not, this is not a Facebook ads thing,
Right.
but just kind of share
overview what it
that.
is.
So just give the basics and then,
So how many of you run Facebook ads? All right, perfect. So these are that don't run Facebook ads, just to give you an idea. When we tend to think about putting an ad out there, we kind of equate it to a newspaper, right? We put an ad one time and send it out, and we can't touch it anymore. And
it's
we
highly
know,
targeted anyway.
right? But we know that if it goes to 80,000 circulation, it's going to go to every home. So how do you narrow down and only go to the homes that you want to? Facebook allows you to have a feature. It's called custom audiences. So you can go through and you can say, this is a list of my 100, clients or 200 clients, and I want to get a message in front of them, specifically in front of them.
So if I said just the people who are in this room, and Claudia just made an offer to you, I could say, hey, because I tagged you, I know who's in this room, I could upload that list. What is it, 20 people about, right? I could upload that list, and an offer would go to you and say, hey, remember Claudia made an offer in the room?
Only to you.
And it would only go to you, because it would match your email address with your login.
Right.
Now, some of them are not corrected, so it may go to
It'll go to those
maybe
that have a
70% or
Facebook account.
60% of the room. But the point is, if she made an offer in the front of the room and said, hey, until January 1, this is my thing, and we could run an ad and say, hey, look, you only have this day, and we could run an ad just to you on Facebook because we know your activity. We know you're going to be there because we matched it. And so that's what custom audiences is, and that's something you need to know. So continue, and then I'll.
That's one way you can use custom audiences. Another thing, if you're going with the holiday season, and let's say using December 25th as the example, and I have my client list, there's nothing that says I can't run an ad specifically to my client list to thank them for an amazing year. Thank you for being a client of Bill Shores. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everything you do, and I wish you an amazing year ahead, or something to that effect.
Right.
But you can truly, truly target. And then there's a lot of variations that you can make to really amplify your online marketing efforts and get in front of more people. And ironically, I am doing a class in January that has all this covered in it. So
What
come
is
see me if you
the
want
third,
more.
the ramp up spend influence, can you?
Ramp up spend, so ramp up your money, think about where you put your money, to influence decisions as key holiday moments are happening. So think of this was going back in, it also covered November, right? So November, we know that there's going to be holiday decisions coming in, purchasing the turkey and getting ready for decorations the week right before Thanksgiving, right? So if I maybe own a small specialty store that does serveware, dishes, plates, things like that, or I own a party rental company or something like that. What I want to do is, rather than spending my money to advertise in the beginning of November when nothing is really going on,
Right,
I would then put my budget to go ahead and ramp up my spending
like a week before.
the week before, knowing that this is when they need their items and they're probably looking for some makeup stuff. So that's where you want to ramp up your spend to influence decisions as key holiday moments are happening, because there are key holiday moments happening.
And this happens with all your marketing. I mean, she's speaking about social media, but it really is about all your marketing.
Yeah, that's why when crafting your holiday marketing, I made it on purpose. Your whole marketing really has to be with us.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Very good.